Good morning, children. I am Rajeshwari. I start a new lesson from 6th class, Plants, Parts and Functions from 6th Science. Before entering the class, I will ask one question. What kind of plants have you seen at your home or home garden or kitchen garden or your surroundings or on the way to school or on the road or beside the road? Okay. I will give two examples. The first example is plant giving plants, and the second not plant giving plants. The first example is flower giving plants, and the second example is fruit giving plants. The first example of flower giving plant is China rose or Mandara. China rose or Mandara. And the second example of fruit giving plant is guava. Guava. You know the guava? You know the guava very well, children? Okay. I will explain the next topic is what are the uses of plants and what are the uses of plants and what type of parts consist in a plant. What type of parts consist in a plant. Okay. This is the structure of a plant. This is the structure of a plant. This is the root. A plant consists of the main part is root. The main part is root, and the second part is stem, and the third part is leaf, and and the fourth part is flower. This is flower. And the fifth part is fruit. Now I will explain the part. The first part is root. This is the total structure of a plant. A total structure of plant consists of these parts. The first part is root, second part is stem, third part is leaf, fourth part is flower, fifth part is fruit. And I started the explanation about the parts. The first part is root. A root consists of different types of roots there in a plants. Two different types of roots there in a plants. The first type of root is taproot system. And the second type of root is adventitious root system. And the property of the root or the uses of root. The uses of root is it can fix the plant into the soil. It can fix tightly plant into the soil. The first property or first use. And the second use is it can absorb the water or minerals from the soil. These are the two properties or two uses of root. And second step is there is a two type of root systems. The first root system is taproot system, and the second root system is adventitious root system. The taproot system, this is the taproot system plant. This is also known as dicotyledonous plants. And what is the meaning of dicotyledonous? And these seeds consist of two cords. Like this. The seeds consist of two cords. Okay. Let explain the taproot system. In the taproot system consists of one main root. The taproot system consists of one main root that becomes very thick. This root system becomes very thick like this. like this. And the second roots becomes very thin, or becomes very thin. These are called as rootlets. These are called as rootlets. And the main root is called as taproot. Main root is called as taproot, and the subroots is called as, or rootlets are called as lateral roots. Lateral roots. The main root becomes very thick. The main roots become very thick. That root is called as taproot, and the subroots are lateral roots, are called, and the name of subroots is called as lateral roots or rootlets, becomes very thin. Becomes very thick is called as taproot, and becomes very thin is called as lateral roots. This total root system is called as taproot system. This total root system is called as taproot system. And the second root system is called as adventitious root system. Adventitious root system. The adventitious root system is coming from the base of the plant. In this root system, all roots are similar. And all roots are like a hair, or very thin, Adventitious root system are seen in very grass plants. This is adventitious root system. This is called as adventitious root system. See like this, all roots are same, or all roots are similar, and all roots are very thin in this structure. All roots are thin and all roots are similar, and all roots are hair-like structure. Becomes very thin. This is the two types of systems. One is taproot system, root systems. One is taproot system, and second one is adventitious root system. Taproot system is occur in dicotyledonous plants. Dicotyledonous plants means all seeds have two parts. Example, bajra, like that. And adventitious root system occur in monocotyledonous plants. The example of monocotyledonous plants is maize. Maize means a sweet corn. The example is maize, sweet corn. Okay. What are the properties and what are the use of roots? What are the properties and what are the use of plants? Roots. These roots helps to fix the plant to tightly to the soil. That is the first property. And the second property is absorption of water. And the third property is absorption of minerals. The third property is absorption of minerals. And what are the uses of water and minerals means? It helps the plant growth. That is the first part of the plant. Plant consists of 5 parts. The first part is root, second part stem, third part leaf, fourth part flower, fifth part fruit. Okay. Now first part is complete. And the next part or the second important part is leaf. The plant consists of leaf. This is the structure of leaf. This is the structure of the leaf. A leaf consists of, the main part of a leaf consists of those main parts. The first main part is lamina. The first main part is lamina. And the second main part is midrib. And the third main part is veins. and the fourth main part is veinlets. Veinlets, and the fifth main part is petiole, and the sixth main part is leaf base. Leaf base. This is the total leaf. This is the total leaf. A total leaf consists of number of main parts. The first main part is lamina. The total parts are depend upon the lamina. Lamina is a enlarged portion. A lamina consists of midrib. This is the main vein. The main vein arising from the lamina. And the veins are arising from the midrib. And also veinlets are arising from the veins. And this is the leaf base. The leaf base attached to the stem or stem branch. This is the petiole. The petiole totally attached to the leaf base. Petiole is attached to the leaf base. Okay, what are the properties? Or what are the uses of leaf? The uses of leaf is leaf is green in color. And this will attach it to the stem, and this will help in making the food material through the process of photosynthesis. Leaf is green in color, and the leaf have a pigment called as chlorophyll. Leaf have a pigment called as chlorophyll. Leaf have a pigment. Leaf is green in color. And leaf have a pigment called as chlorophyll. And chlorophyll will help the process of photosynthesis. This word is in a 7th class textbook, and this word also in a 7th class science textbook. Photosynthesis. What is the meaning of photosynthesis? Photosynthesis means it will help the make the food material. Photosynthesis means process of making a food material. The word photosynthesis and the word chlorophyll is in 7th class textbook. Green in color. And this leaf, the second property, this is the first property, and the second property of leaf is transpiration. What is the meaning of transpiration? Excess of gases and excess of water are transferred from the leaf or plant is called as transpiration. What is the meaning? The second property of transpiration is transpiration. The transpiration means it will transfer the excess of water transfer from the plant or leaf is known as transpiration. Okay, first property is making of food material, and second property is transpiration. This is the leaf. Okay, this is the leaf. This leaf is consists of petiole and leaf base, and midrib, veinlet, and veins and veinlets. This total web-like arrangement is known as venation. The word venation, web-like arrangement is known as venation. This web-like total web-like arrangement is known as venation. Okay, this is a dicotyledonous leaf. Two types of venations. Depends upon two types of venations. depends upon the arrangement of veins and veinlets. Depends upon the arrangement of veins and veinlets. The first type of venation is reticulate venation. The first type of venation is reticulate venation. And the second type of venation is parallel venation. The first type of venation is reticulate type venation and the second type of venation is parallel venation. The best example of reticulate venation is China rose. China rose. And the best example of parallel venation is grass plants or maize or rice plants, totally including in the grass plants. Okay, what is the reticulate venation and what is a parallel venation? The example of reticulate venation is this one. Okay, this one and this is venation is a web-like venation, and this venation is also occurring. I already said that what is dicotyledonous and what is monocotyledonous plants. Okay, the reticulate venation is totally occur in the plants of dicotyledonous. The parallel venation is totally occur in the plants of monocotyledonous. These all are monocotyledonous plants. These all are dicotyledonous plants. The reticulate venation is totally here. That means it consists of midrib. It consists of midrib and lamina, veins, veinlets like this. A web-like venation. And the second venation, parallel venation, the best example of parallel venation is grass plants. Here, grass plants. So, in this like this, total veins are thin and total veins are similar one to each other. Like this. Total veins are similar like this. This is parallel venation. This is reticulate venation. This is quite different from each other. This is a web-like venation and total veins are one to different each other, and this is a parallel venation. Each one similar each other. Each are same. Very thin structure in this. The example of reticulate venation is totally occurring dicotyledonous plants and parallel venation occurring monocotyledonous plants. The example of reticulate venation is China rose and parallel venation is grass, maize, rice, etc. Right. The first important part is root is complete, and the second important part is leaf is complete. And now third important part is a stem. Okay. Stem. A stem is a erect and green in color and divides into branches and subdivides into sub-branches and it bears leaves, fruits, flowers, etc. It bears leaves. What is the meaning of bears? Leaves, flowers, fruits, etc. What is the meaning of bear? And it means the total leaves, flowers, fruits depends upon the posture of the stem. And the stem is erect, green in color, and it has a branches, and also it has a sub branches. And the stem bears leaves, flowers, fruits, etc. And the second point is, what are the uses of stem? And it absorb the water or the minerals is absorbed by the root, absorbed by the root, and it is supplies totally to leaves, fruits, flowers, stems, subbranches, etc. through the stem. That means it passes total water, minerals to all parts of the plant body, through the branches of stem. That is uses of stem. Again I tells you, stem is erect, green in color, and it divides into branches and sub-branches. It bears the leaf, flowers, fruits, etc. And also it total parts of the plant body is exposed to sunlight. Another use of stem is total parts of the plant body is exposed to sunlight. That is the use of the stem. And the second uses of stem is it is passes the water and minerals through itself. That is the uses of, and it absorbed water passes through the stem to all parts of the plant body. That is the second use. First use is exposes to sunlight to plant total body. And second part is absorbed water passes through the stem to all parts of the plant body. That is the second use. Right. And the another part is, the fourth important part is flower. This is the marigold flower, and this is a grass plant flower. This is a marigold flower, and this is a grass plant flower. A flower consists of number of parts here. See here. This is a 7th class syllabus. Okay, and the flower consists of those number of important parts. The first part is sepals. And the second part is very colorful parts in this flower, petals. And the third part is stamens. And the fourth part is stigma. And the fifth part is okay. And the fifth important part is ovary. This lesson will help in your 7th class syllabus. This is in 7th class syllabus. This is not in 6th class syllabus. Okay. This is the total flower structure. A flower structure consists of those number of important parts. The first part is sepals, second part is petals, third part is stamens, and the fourth part is stigma, and fifth part is ovary. The other name of stamens, this is also in further classes, the word androecium. Stamens, the other name or the scientific name of stamens is androecium. And the another name of stigma is gynoecium. The another name of stamens is androecium. The another name of stigma is gynoecium. What is the meaning of androecium and what is the meaning of gynoecium? The male part is known as androecium The flower consists of two parts, two main parts. The first main part is female part and the second main part is male part. The male part is known as, the scientific name of male part is androecium. The scientific name of female part is gynoecium. Female part is gynoecium. The first part of a flower consists of two parts, two main parts. The first main part is gynoecium, second main part is androecium. Gynoecium is the female part, androecium is the male part. Gynoecium, the other name of gynoecium is female, the other name of androecium is male part. This is the structure of a flower. A flower consists of these main important parts. And the sepals. In the sepals, a green color part in this flower, a green color part in this flower is known as sepals, and a very light pink color or white color leaves is known as petals, sepals and petals, okay. And this will a colorful petals will helps in the process of pollination. A colorful leaves will helps in the process of pollination. What is the process of pollination? Means reproduction. Reproduction means a cross between male and female gamete is known as reproduction. Okay. This is petals. These petals will helps in the process of male and female gamete. Or reproduction or pollination and sepals. And second one, stamens. A stamens contains a pollen grains. A stamens contains a pollen grains. A pollen grains is known as male gamete. A pollen grains is known as male gamete. And a female part, stigma, consists of ovary. The beside of the stigma have a ovary. A ovary is also called as female part. A female part consists of ovules. The other name of ovules is called as female gamete. This is called as male gametes. Pollen grains is called as male gametes and ovules is called as female gametes. Pollen grains is known as male gametes and ovules is known as female gametes. Okay. What is the meaning of pollination? I already said Pollination means exchange of pollen grains from stamens to stigma. The exchange or transfer of pollen grains from stamens to stigma is known as pollination. The exchange or transformation of pollen grains from stamens to stigma is known as pollination. And the second word or second important word of reproduction. What is the meaning of reproduction? The fusion of male and female gamete. The fusion of male and female gamete is known as reproduction. The fusion of male and female gamete is known as reproduction. That is the uses of flower. And that means a flower is a very important part in the plant. And it will use in the reproduction and it will also helps in the production of seeds. A plant consists of 5 important parts and 4 important parts is completed and the remaining part is fruit. Okay. Dicotyledonous plants consist of, there is a 2 types of fruits. The first type of fruit is dicotyledonous fruit and second type of fruit is monocotyledonous fruit. Dicotyledonous plants seeds have 2 parts. Plant seeds have a two parts like lemon, tamarindus, etc. అంటే a fruit consists of seeds. A fruit consists of seeds. The seed consists of two cords. This is the first cord and this is the second cord. This is the first cord and this is the second cord. This is the two types of cords. First cord and second cord. And these type of seeds occur in only dicotyledonous plants. The example of dicotyledonous plants are lemon and tamarindus. And the second type of fruits or monocotyledonous fruits consist of a single cord like this. Example maize. And the second example is coconut. In your see at your home, coconut plants are there. The coconut plants have a single cotyledon. Already have to seen already. Okay. This is coconut plant and this is maize. Maize and coconut plant have one cotyledon in their structure itself. Structure have a one cotyledon. This is the example of dicotyledonous plant seeds and this is the example of monocotyledonous seeds. Okay. What are the use of fruits? Plant in the leaf they have a green color pigment. In the process of photosynthesis, a plant or leaf make the food material and it can store in the fruit. For the further use of plant. Plant bears and also fruit bears seeds and a pulpy structure and a juice like that. This is the total structure of plant. A total structure of plant consists of 5 important parts. The first part is root, second part stem, third part leaf, fourth part flower, fifth part is fruit. A root helps in the fix tightly to the soil. That is the first important. And I forgot one important uses of root. That is a tuberous root. The tuberous roots means a plants make the food material in the process of photosynthesis. It can store in the roots. Will help the further purpose. And it store the root and it bulk out. Some roots and some stems also store the food material in there itself. The best example of tuberous roots or tuberous stems are, first example is carrot and second example is radish, and the third example is beetroot. These are and sweet potato. These all are examples of tuberous roots. I forgot that. Okay. What is the meaning of tuberous roots? Plants make the food material in the leaves and it passes through it and it can store in the root and it bulk out and these roots are called as tuberous roots. The example of tuberous roots are carrot, beetroot, radish, potato and sweet potato. These are the examples of tuberous roots. Okay, these are the tuberous roots. The plant make the food material in the process of photosynthesis and it store in the root. It bulk out and it make the one fruit. That roots is called as tuberous roots. The example of tuberous roots are carrot, beetroot, radish, potato. Okay, and the second part of the leaf. A leaf consists of two types of venations. The first venation is reticulate venation and the second venation is parallel venation. Reticulate venation leaves totally in dicotyledonous plants and parallel venation totally in monocotyledonous plants. And the use of leaf is making the food material and it trap the solar energy. Making the food material and trap the solar energy. And the third important part is stem. The stem consists of branches and sub-branches. It bears totally fruits, leaves, buds, etc. And what are the uses of stem is it totally exposes plant body to sunlight. And the third important part is fruit. Third important part is flower. Fourth important part is flower. And the flower consists of those number of parts I already told you now. A flower used in the process of pollination and reproduction. A pollination means transfer of pollen grains from stamens to stigma is known as pollination, and reproduction. The process of fusion of male and female gamete is known as reproduction. The process of fusion of male and female gamete is known as reproduction. Okay, this will helps to make a fruits. The fruits are helping to further purpose. And the next important part is fruit. The plant in the process of making a food material, it can store into a fruit. It form into a fruit. The fruit are two types. The first type is monocotyledonous fruit and second fruit is dicotyledonous fruit. In the monocotyledonous fruit consists of single card seeds. In the dicotyledonous fruit consists of dicot seeds. Dicot seeds means the example of dicot seeds is tamarind, lemon, etc. and mango. Tamarind, lemon and mango. It consists of two seeds. Monocotyledonous consists of one card. One card means one bed. And the example of monocotyledonous seeds is maize, grass plants, that means rice, etc. Thank you very much, students.